What's going on, my babies? Welcome back to another episode of the Spiritual Word. As always, I apologize for any noises in the background in advance and anything of that nature. Sorry if you can hear my fan. It's just really, really hot today. It's like in the 90s. So, not turning that off. Like I said, all summer is going to be on. So, before I start these, I like to start these off with a disclaimer by stating that these are for entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research to come to your own conclusions, to have your own answers, to make your own decisions, and I believe in your ability to do so, to be your own person. So today's episode is going to be about shadow work, and it's going to be a very, 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 very short, sweet, simple one. So shadow work is all the aspects that you've hidden from yourself. Now, you're not going to necessarily know what you've hidden from yourself the first couple of times around, and it's something that you kind of pick at. It's kind of like when archaeologists are searching for bones. You have to look for these in a very gentle manner as to not break the bones, right? So, you. I'm not saying you have to be super duper gentle with yourself because obviously you're not like a very fragile being and you're not excavating this precious artifact, but you should think of it as this precious artifact to get you closer and closer to where you're trying to be. Sorry about that. AKA, you're trying to get closer to your real self. And the closer you can get to your real self, the more fulfilled you're going to feel. So you should really treat this thing as a sacred object, because the more devoted you are to this, the more gentle you are to this, the better it's going to feel, the better it's going to be, the better your experience with this thing is going to have. Like if I'm going to, like, for example, actually, I don't even want to give an example. I take that back. I don't even want to give an example. Just take this piece of knowledge and really ingrain it in yourself. The more gentle you are with yourself in these situations, especially in shadow work, because you're going to be hurting in shadow work because it's stuff that you've repressed. And usually it goes hand in hand with the inner child healing that I've already done an episode on. You're not even going to realize that you've suppressed either these emotions or these events in your life or this way of thinking or this way of being. And when I looked at my timestamp, it was 234. You're not even going to realize that you've had those suppressed. And when you look at those things after suppressing those, you're going to be like, damn, why did I do that? It's going to be a very painful moment to realize that, oh my gosh, I was hiding this whole time. Why? And not necessarily super duper painful, because sometimes they won't be as painful, but other times they might be as painful. So this is like an overall coverage of what it could be. But it's kind of, like I said, it's like the inner child healing, and most of the time they go hand in hand. You're going to find a skeleton in the closet that you didn't even know was there. You're going to be like, damn, why did I hide this? This isn't even a bad thing. Why is this here? And, it's kind of like your guilty pleasures that you hide. Those are a lot of the times the shadow work that needs to be done. Like, for example, you could be really into, like, I don't know, something that you really hide because you're, either embarrassed or have anxiety about it, or you're shameful about it, or you're just protecting yourself. Like, for example, it could just be some type of event that made you feel bad in some way. And so now you don't think about that piece of that memory. But the fact of the matter is that everything that exists within you is part of your completion. And it could be things like, I don't know, like you like this person and you're like, damn, that person was ugly, and all my friends shamed me for liking this person when we were in elementary school. And so I didn't even remember my elementary school crush until this very moment of sitting down and having this contemplation. It could be stuff like that. Stuff that you really haven't thought about in years. Stuff like your favorite books in elementary school, or the lack of reading in middle school, or, the abundance of friends that you had in high school, or the abundance of things that you loved to do when you were in college. It's like all the stuff that you have repressed for so long that now you don't even remember. It's going back and remembering those aspects of yourself, the good and the bad, because they're both going to arise. So when the bad does arise, meet it with gentleness, treat it like an artifact, treat it like it's a piece of gold because it's a piece of you and you are gold. And you should never treat yourself less than. And a lot of the times, shadow work is going to go hand in hand with inner child healing because most of the time the things you repress usually come from early childhood stages or early development stages of your personal personality, your unique personality. And those develop through childhood, through infancy, through being a toddler. Maybe you don't even remember what being a toddler was like because you repressed that so much. Think about that. Think about the things that you haven't thought about in so fucking long. And when I looked at my timestamp from my camera, it was 555. So, think about the things you haven't thought about in so long, including the good and the bad. And the more you do that, the more shadows will come up and meet you because they're peeking for the first time. They're like, oh my gosh, like I haven't seen the light in so long. I don't know what to expect. Sometimes it can make you feel a little bit angsty, like a little angsty teenager. Sometimes it can make you feel a little bit stressed, sometimes a little bit of anxiety. Sometimes it could be joyful, the experience of these things. Like for me, for example, I really enjoy inner child healing because like I feel proud of myself. Like I feel so proud of myself that I could fucking cry because I'm like, damn, like I'm doing this shit. I'm doing what's good for my mind. I'm doing what's good for my heart. I'm doing what's good for my soul. And that's a very proud feeling. Like I feel like my own mom when I do these things. I feel like I've moved a mountain when all I've done is a simple like taking care of yourself. And I think that there's a lot of fucking beauty to that. I think there's a lot of beauty in your uniqueness and in the completion of yourself and the rediscovery of yourself as you age, every single time you age, every single moment of the day, because you're not going to ever stop doing shadow work. You're not going to ever stop doing inner child healing because those are also part of you. And you have to get used to choosing a different reaction every single time they arise until it's your normal reaction. And then once it's your normal reaction, you choose a better reaction. And most of the time, most people who are spiritual, they are kind of like they enjoy the process of bettering themselves. So they're never going to stop. You know what I mean? Like your development is never over. You never stop aging. And most humans, when they have something that they really enjoy, they want more and more and more and more. And it becomes this addictive process, which is neither good or bad. It is what it is. Depends on you. But that's the thing. Like the thing itself, the shadow work itself is the process of just making friends with all the things that you didn't even know was there. And really contemplating the ideas that you didn't even know were there. And saying hi to all the darkness or all the things that you've locked away in a closet and treated like literal dirt when they're artifacts and they're gold and they're treasure buried, just waiting to be discovered. And like I said, do this with gentleness because sometimes those skeletons are actually skeletons for a reason, and other times they're just thoughts and memories that you didn't even know were there. So, be yourself with gentleness, be compassionate, love your damn self, because you're the only you that will ever be in your skin. You are number one of number one. There is only one of you made. Enjoy that shit. Enjoy the process. It can be hard, and it's going to be hard, but existence is pain, my friend. And I don't mean that to be negative. I mean, like, to be here, to experience the good, you have to experience the bad. So when you do experience the bad, be gentle. Because I know that you don't enjoy that shit. I know a lot of people who don't enjoy pain. But it's just another part of this wholeness. You are complete. You are amazing. You are you. And in order to be you, there has to be memories that only you possess. So, with that being said, thanks for tuning in and tapping in. I'm gonna end this here. And I hope that this was clear and helpful in any way, shape, and form, or maybe this was just entertaining, which either way, I hope that you had fun. And be kind to yourself. And in return, you'll be kind to the world. So, like, just be kind to yourself, because every change starts with you. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in and tapping in. I love you, my babies. Thanks for being here, because without you, there would be no me. Without no me, there would be no you. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.